Hello everyone, Lorraine here and welcome back. I'm glad you're with me today. It's a little later in the day, so I've already had my apple cider vinegar, but today we're going to talk about a small face that you would need to put on if somebody calls you at the last minute and says, hey, I'm in your neighborhood and I can drop by in 15 minutes, or if somebody wants to go out at the last minute. So before we get into all that, I want to show you my scent of the day, which is by Lolita Lempicka. And the bottle is so stunning. I hope you can even see the gold writing, Lolita Lempicka, which actually was initially a fashion house, but they started making perfumes in 1997. And they released many flankers and limited editions, all with this beautiful apple shape. The bottle is just stunning. So this particular flanker is Fleur Défendue, and it was released in 2008. And it has notes of iris and violet, and I believe caramel. So it's a very sweet, gourmand fragrance, and I just love it. And this is the one that my little granddaughter, when she was selecting her perfume from my perfume cabinet, she wanted this one because she said it looked like a strawberry. So I wasn't going to argue with her. So that's my SOTD. Has it ever happened that somebody calls you and says, I'm coming right over, and, you know, of course you want to see them, but you want to look your best. So you can take 5 minutes and just spruce up a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I do in that situation. And I use products that I'm accustomed to, that I've used before, that I can always count on. After that, I'm going to sing you a little song, and I'm going to read you something that I wrote last week. I'm going to read you something about what it's like to be 75. And I kind of surprised myself when I sat down to write this. And I want to share it with you, which I will do a little later. So this is going to take, of course, a little longer than 5 minutes because I'll be talking. But I start with a little bit of lightener under my eyebrow, and I'm using this Sephora liquid eyeshadow. So I'm just going to blend that in with my fingers very quickly. Yeah, being 75, it's just pretty amazing. I can't even believe it. I'm very grateful to be 75 because longevity certainly does not run in my family. My parents and my grandparents, none of them reached their 70s. My father died at 49 and my mother died at 69, which, you know, it's pretty young when I look at it now. So I'm very happy to be 75, and I know that, anyway, moving along with this, this is the Marcel eyeshadow stick, and I just love the color of this. It's a taupe color. I'm going to list and link all these products down below. So I would just quickly swipe this on the eyelid. What I like about this one is it is a shimmer, but it's not that much of a shimmer. I do like a little bit of shimmer, but not a whole lot. But I just love the color. And what is interesting about this is on the other end, there's a little blender. Look at that. How handy is that? So I can just use that just to blend it in. Yeah, I mean, you know, as we age, of course, the big thing is the state of our health and the state of our mobility, and you know, there are health problems that can limit our activities and certainly be a challenge to handle. There's no doubt about that. And I do have a few. I have some mobility issues of my own, actually. But nevertheless, there's still a lot that we can do at that time in our lives. So I'm just blending this. Now, if I had to do this again, I might put a little less on. But nevertheless, it'll do. So then I'm going to use my beloved... Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go into some eyeliners. These are 2 eyeliners that I bought from Annabelle. And one of them is a taupe color and one of them is black. So I'm going to use the black one to, and it has a skinny little, it's a gel eyeliner, and it has a skinny little tip, which I really like. So I'm going to just quickly just go under my, on the water line there, under my lashes. And this is something that I've had to get used to this. Because when I first started to do this, my eyes would water, and oh my gosh, I just thought that I would never get used to it, but you do, but I have anyway. So I find it really makes a difference in just outlining the eyes and just giving some definition. I don't have big eyes, and I have hooded eyes, so they kind of need all the help they can get. That's the black one, and I use the taupe one, and again, it has the little skinny little tip because I like just a very faint line under my eyes. And I don't go all the way under my eyes. I just go maybe halfway. Because I don't want to, it's dark. It's always a bit dark. As we get older, this area becomes darker. And so I don't want to add to that darkness. If I was spending more time, which I'm not today, I would, that's where I would maybe use concealer or an ivory or white eyeshadow in that area. But often I don't even do that because it's going to sink into the fine lines. There's no doubt about it, and I'm okay with that, really. Next, I use my It Cosmetics Celebration Powder Foundation. This is absolutely something that I can count on. I've used this for years, and I can always count on it. So I just apply that with a brush all over. If you put enough on, it'll be pretty much full coverage. But nothing, I don't mind if my natural skin peeks through the foundation. I'm not really trying to put a big mask on. But I do like this powder foundation. It's smooth, and it's has a nice satin finish. Not too glowy and not too matte. So that would be that. And next I would just put on a little bit of an eyebrow pencil, and the one I really like is by e.l.f. And this is kind of a waxy one. It's in color taupe or blonde, I forget. It has a quite a thick lead, but I like it for that. And it has a little spoolie on the end, which I will use to comb down my lashes. But it has quite a soft formula. The color is just perfect for me. So I do really like this, this pencil. It's just easy peasy. I mean, look at that in 2 seconds, you know? Makes a difference just to give a little bit of color to my brows. And yeah, but the thing is, you know, when you're 75, one thing I find that really helps me is to be around young people, which of course, if you have grandchildren, is a real bonus, you know. But if you have grandchildren, or you don't have grandchildren, or they're not in your town, that can be a challenge. But it really is fun to talk to young people, to, you know, their zest for life and their enthusiasm and their ability to look forward and anticipate the future. It's kind of catching, and it gives me energy. So the next thing I'm going to put on is this Maybelline Sky High Mascara. I discovered this fairly recently, and I quite like this one. It has a different kind of brush than I'm used to, this silicone brush, but it's thin, and I like that the brush is thin. So I just go down to the base of the lashes, and it separates nicely. I probably wouldn't take the time to do the bottom lashes. if I was in a hurry, but that makes quite a difference anyway, just with the top lashes done. So I like this mascara. I find it's hard to find a mascara that, I can't say I found my holy grail yet though. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments down below. I do love your comments, honestly. It's very encouraging to hear from you. And feel free to, you know, ask me any questions or suggest anything that you'd like me to talk about on these YouTubes. So that's the lashes done. And then I'm going to put a little bit of blush. And again, this is an e.l.f. blush, which is just... Now, the thing I like about this is it has a touch of shimmer, and which I wouldn't normally go for. I kind of prefer matte blushes, but if I'm in a hurry to go out and a little bit of shimmer would be okay, then it just saves that step. So I could probably use a bit of a darker shade in this blush. But sometimes it's hard to tell because I am using my ring light, so this is a kind of artificial light. It's a dreary day here, so there's not that much light even coming in from my window. But that gives just a touch of color, and that's just great. And the final step, of course, is lipstick, and this is Maybelline Color Sensational. I love this formula. It's a cream formula, and it's called Plush Punch. Plush Punch. And it just goes on smoothly and beautifully. And again, if I'm in a hurry, I wouldn't bother with a lip liner. This one has the type of texture that clings to the lips. It's not oily at all. It's not any kind of, it doesn't have that much of a slip. So it feels like it's really sticking to the lips, which makes me think that it'll last a while. So I'm going to do my hair and I'll be right back. Well, I feel reasonably put together for a last-minute visitor or a last-minute outing. And now, before I read you what I wrote, I'm going to sing you a little song. There is a song by the Traveling Willoughbys entitled The End of the Line. And here are a few lyrics from that song which always really tickle my fancy and touch my heart. Well, it's all right. Even if you're old and gray, yes, it's all right. You still have something to say. I love that because we do have something to say. And I have something to say to you. And in fact, some encouraging words for you and for myself. At 75, is this the best time of my life? At 75, I feel that in some ways, this is the best time of my life. Yes, I have saggies and baggies and aches and pains, but my values are intact. My health is stable. My needs are met. My wants are few, and my bank account is adequate. I am blessed with a loving family and with positive and supportive friends. After a lifetime of responsibility, duties, limitations, and financial restraint, I feel that I now have the freedom to spend my time and resources however I wish. This is my reality, for which I am grateful beyond measure, and I thank God every day. I can even do crazy things like start a YouTube channel, which I did recently, to help and encourage others by sharing my views about aging with dignity and strength and joy. I now have the dubious distinction of being one of the oldest YouTube creators. But my goal is to show some small ways that my fellow aging women may experience peace, self-love, self-care, confidence, and a positive attitude about this unique time in our lives. Isn't it time to replace the dreary stereotypes of aging with positivity and energy? What crazy thing would you like to do? Write a book? Take a course? Learn a new skill? Open a flower shop? Create a perfume? The sky's the limit in terms of branching out, being creative, and being daring. Don't wait until you have no fear, until you are ready, until you know how to, until you feel better. Do it now with courage and gusto and optimism. If not you, who? If not when? When? Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.